Hello and thank you so much for joining me today. It is time for another haul. I know, very unusual. So I haven't posted a video in a few weeks and I'm really sorry. It's just been horrendously hectic the past few months and I'd mostly managed to stay on top of doing videos and stuff, but then I just fell apart pretty much. It just ended up being like a whole bunch of stuff I had planned in 2020 that got delayed. Ended up being like all in June, and very helpfully we were all on different weekends in June, but I had no free weekends, and as a consequence I pretty much had no free evenings at all. I've just been like on my feet for like 2 months straight and I'm so tired, but thankfully it's pretty much all wrapped up now. I have so many videos to both film and edit for you, so we've got a haul here which is technically my May haul, but we're just going to gloss over that a bit and it's just gonna be a haul because we're already pretty late. This video is gonna end up going up in like July. I've got the June haul to do, I've got an unboxing to do, I went to London and I did so much filming in shops. I'm gonna have so many videos because I think it's just gonna be too long if I just do one big London video, so I'm gonna like split it up. So I've got a whole bunch of that. You might notice I'm in a different formation from usual. Well, there's going to be a video for that as well. There's just so many videos to do and quite a few. I've done like most of the filming. I just need to like edit it or like do a last bit of editing and then start editing it. But yeah, there's going to be so much manga content over the next few months. Apologies for the gap, but do not worry, you will be rewarded. Another manga collection tour I should do. I keep meaning to do one where I like talk a bit about the volumes. I kind of want to do 2 collection tours, one where I talk about the volumes themselves, like was it secondhand, how much did I pay, and then one where I talk about the series themselves. I dread doing that one a little bit because who knows how long that video is going to be. But of course, if you want to be alerted when I post all this glorious manga content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you'll be alerted when I post them. Also, don't forget to give this video a like and check out my social media and affiliate links down below. Without any more preamble, let's dive into this May haul. So I always do them alphabetically, so this is the first stack and the first volume on top of the stack is a good one. It is 20th Century Boys Volume 1. I was really excited to see this volume in Traveling Man. You can tell it's Traveling Man because of the 3 for 2 sticker, because it's just been out of stock and I've been waiting for reprints, and I saw all the reprints in America and I was like, why haven't you come to the UK yet? But finally they did. I'm still waiting on volume 2, but then I will be series complete and I can finally read this damn series. I hear so many good things, everyone seems to love it, and also it's one of the few series where I actually prefer the omnibus to the singles. Very rarely happens because I prefer a single volume because I like how it feels. I find it's nicer to hold in one hand, it's easier to fit in bags and stuff, but I actually do prefer the omnis of 20th Century Boys. I think they look a lot prettier. I find the singles look a bit boring, I'm sorry. Next up on the stack is Alice in Borderland Volume 1, also an omnibus, but I don't think the singles got released in English anyway. I really enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun. I actually talked about it in one of my more recent videos where I talked about a whole bunch of volume 1s that I read during, I've read them during May I think, and I posted the video a few weeks ago. If you haven't seen it, be sure to go check it out. There's actually quite a few series in this stack that I talk in a bunch more detail about, and this is one of them. I did really enjoy it. I read it really quickly. I read it in like an afternoon or an evening. I can't remember when I read it, but it was really quick and I read a whole bunch of other manga that day and I can't wait for volume 2. Next we have Arifureta From Commonplace to World's Strongest 0 Volume 3. So this is one of the Arifureta spin-offs. There are 2 I think, and it's I Heart Isekai and 0. This is the only volume of the series I own, and that is because I picked it up for $1.99, which you can see there. I was already pretty set on picking it up because I mean it's an isekai. Well, are spin-offs of isekai still isekai because the isekai's already occurred? I don't know. It's one of the ongoing debates I have with myself. Yeah, so Forbidden Planet had a big box of discounted manga, and I went a little crazy and bought quite a few of them. Quite a few of them were ones I'd already wanted to pick up, like this one I'd been wanting to pick up because it's Isekai, so I was very excited. But yes, $1.99, and I'm fairly sure it's brand new. It feels brand new. Next couple of volumes are Bakemonogatari volumes 11 and 12. I have read volume 1 and I enjoyed it, and then I decided to, as I've done with quite a few series, try and hold off reading it till I'm up to date. I'm not that far off being up to date. I think only a couple more volumes left than I am. Actually 14. Yeah, 14 I think is out now. So I've got a couple more volumes till I'm properly up to date. But very slowly but surely, I've picked up quite a lot of this series for half price on Blackwell's, but the last few I've been picking up from Forbidden Planet, usually like to try and wrap up a 3 for 2 kind of deal. Like I'll have, I don't know, 10 volumes or 11 volumes, like I need one more to make a multiple of 3, and I'll like grab one of these. There are a few series I've been doing that with. I've like caught up on quite a few of them now, so I have no excuse to not read them yet. Next we have Beauty and the Feast volumes 1 and 2. This is another series I talked about in my volume 1's read, except I only have read volume 1. I haven't read volume 2 yet. I had mixed feelings. I really hope it doesn't go down the romantic route. I really enjoyed seeing all the food. The food was good. That was like one of the good shots of food, like hamburger steaks with eggs, I think. Yeah, I found it was an okay volume to read. I did get a little bored towards the end, so I'll see how it goes. Blackguard volume 1 and 2. Another series I talked about in volume 1s that I read in May-ish time. So I did actually read both volumes 1 and 2. It isn't a particularly long series. It's only like 5-7 volumes long. It's an odd number in the singles, I'm fairly sure. I think it might be 5 because I think I saw that it'll finish releasing this year. I found it fine. I didn't get too bored reading it, which is good, but I didn't think it like really gripped me still. It's the same author as Devil's Line, which I haven't read, but I have started picking it up because I found a discounted volume. I don't think the art style's really my sort of thing, which is unfortunate because I know a lot of people do like this artist art style, but it just wasn't as much for me. If you want to hear more about it, I'd go check out that video because I do talk about the series that I've read volume 1 of in a lot more detail than I probably would do in a haul. Next we have Boarding School Juliet volume 3. This is another series that I've like started picking up if I need to make up a 3 for 2. I really quite enjoyed volume 1. It was really sweet, and there was like a lot of drama with the romance, which I like in my romance. I like unexpected, unusual drama. The series is complete though, so I am feeling like holding off reading it now until I have more of the volumes. I have picked up quite a few secondhand. I have like 4 or 5 that were secondhand, and I picked up a few more half price from random stores. So I think I've got like 7 or 8 volumes now. It is kind of meant to be like a Romeo and Juliet style of romance, but the two faction sides go to boarding school together, and then like the guy from one side, the head like guy who leads one side and the girl who sort of leads the other side, start dating, and they're doing it all in secret, and like all of this happens in like chapter 1, so it's not like big spoilers, but it's like there's been a whole bunch of them trying to hide it and not get caught and stuff like that, and it was just like, I enjoyed that. So I am looking forward to reading more. I just need to now grab the rest of them. Call of the Night Volume 6. Now, do remember that all of these were picked up in May, so when I call them new releases, they're not new releases probably right now or anymore, but they were at the time. So Call of the Night was a new release pickup. The Call of the Night's been a bit weird, like the volumes are taking ages to get to the UK, so I think there's like 8 or 9 volumes out now in English, and like I just saw 6 on the shelves in May. It's just taking ages. Saying that, I haven't gone particularly far in the series. I think I'm the only person I've seen who's not been that bothered by it. Like volume 1 I just found a bit weird, and I didn't understand like why things were happening, but like so many people are enjoying it so much. I did purposefully not read the next few volumes I picked up because I wanted to read a bunch at once to see if maybe that was the reason I wasn't really into it. And now my excuse is I keep forgetting that I have the volumes. Chainsaw Man Volume 10. So I have not yet read Chainsaw Man, but pretty much I was struggling to find volumes, as was everyone, to be fair. So I just held off and I was like, I'm not going to start reading it until I've at least got my gaps. So I was missing like volume 4 and volume 7 and something else. And by the time I was up to date, I just picked up volume 9. And Chainsaw Man Part 1, my understanding, is only 11 volumes. So I was like, okay, I'm going to hold off and read Chainsaw Man when I have all 11 volumes. I've read volume 1. So I read volume 1 when it first came out, way back when. I don't know when that came out, years now probably. And now I'm going to read the rest in one go, which I'm very excited for. I know so many people enjoy it. Like, I even know quite a lot of people personally in like realsies life enjoy it. I have really high expectations for this series, which I'm worried it can't live up to now. But I think that happens a lot with big hyped up series. So I think I just need to rein it in and just push out everyone's opinions out my head and just read it and see what I think of it. Children of the Whales Volume 19. I tried to get up to date with this and managed to fail spectacularly because I was so close to being up to date, and then I struggled to find volume 17, so I now have a gap again. Volume 17 is in Forbidden Planet. I just keep not picking it up because I keep forgetting about it. Like, I'll walk around and then forget to come back to Children of the Whales 19. So next time I go manga shopping, I need to pick up Children of the Whales 17 because one of my friends loves the series and she's like properly up to date and into it. And I need to read it so I can read it with her. And I just haven't. And I'm so sad, and I shouldn't open it because that's horrendous spoilers. I've only read like 4 volumes so far. Children of the Whales definitely is one of like my favourite cover series. All the covers are gorgeous. Is it volume 5? It's just like covered in flowers. It's so pretty. I promise I'll try and catch up reading this diary. I promise. If you watch this, I swear, just for you. Next we have Devil's Line Volume 1. As I mentioned, I had started picking up the series because I found cheap volumes, and yeah, I decided to actually pick up Volume 1. I find Volume 1s are the hardest to find of almost any volume number of any series, because I assume a lot of people will be like, oh, I'll try the series and pick up Volume 1, and then depending on what they feel, they may continue it, but if they don't, they've still got that Volume 1. So I was really hyped to see Volume 1 of this, considering I think I picked up Volume 2 secondhand, so at least I can start reading it, but because it's not a very long series, I don't know if I should wait till I have them all. I have plenty enough to read, so I could probably hold off. Yo, these ones really excited me. We have Dorohedoro Volumes 2, 3, and 4. Oh my goodness. I picked up Volume 1 like 2-3 years ago now, and I didn't rush to pick up other volumes, and then they all just went out of stock. And I've been trying to pick them up ever since and struggled like heck. But I saw 2, 3, and 4 in Traveling Man, and I was like, yes, thank you. I am now missing only 3 volumes till I'm complete. It's like volumes 13 to 23 and another one, which I don't remember. But I'm close to completion, so it's another one. I think I'm going to hold off because it's taken me so long to find volumes 2, 3, and 4. I'd probably want to wait until I can get the rest to read it, because I'd get really bummed out if I get really into reading it and then I get stuck, because that has happened to me multiple times with series and it's really annoying. And I feel like it's ruined a couple of series where I've like binged a few volumes and then kind of got stuck because I couldn't find one for a year or so, and then I started reading again and I couldn't remember who anyone was and I couldn't remember what was happening. And I don't think I got like the from the volumes that I should have done. And I don't want to experience that again, which has kind of made me want to change how I read manga, because I used to read like a volume from a series and then move on. But now I've been binging them and like I feel like I'm taking in the story a lot better. I'm definitely reading them faster. Was that a good or a bad thing? I don't know. I'm gonna wait till I can get the last couple before I start reading this again. Though I have read Volume 1. Dragon Ball Z Volume 3. I am missing, I think, like 2 volumes of Dragon Ball Z. Then I'm complete. Are you noticing a trend? I'm noticing a trend. But hopefully I might have managed to find the last couple I need. I have a big stack of parcels on the floor, and hopefully they're gonna be in those. And then I'm so excited. I want to binge Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball is one of the ones like I've been wanting to read. When did I start collecting Dragon Ball? I think I was like 16 and I'm 26 now. So 10 years I've been collecting Dragon Ball, and I'll just be finally getting up to date because I buy so cheap. So much of it's been secondhand or 3 for 2 or really cheap secondhand. Eden 016. I really enjoy Eden 0, and actually my partner's reading it as well, so we do both read the series, which is quite nice to talk about. It is pretty much just fairy tale in space, but in my opinion it feels better paced so far. Apparently that seems to be a general consensus everywhere I look. There are a few things in this volume that made me giggle, mainly to do with the big, what's his name? I don't remember his name. Big cat guy. I don't want to say too much more because it's starting to get like, I feel how far into a series before it gets way too spoilery. I feel like past like volume 5 you have to be careful about what you say, and this is volume 16, so I really need to be careful what I say. Farming Life in Another World, volume 5. I haven't read volume 4 yet. I loved volume 1. I really enjoyed volume 2, and volume 3 I got so bored. It took me like 3 days to read it, which is really upsetting, honestly, because it's an isekai and it's kind of like Harvest Moon, but like every woman that appears just wants to bone this guy, and I just find the humour really flat. Part of me genuinely can't believe that this manga is still going, because honestly nothing happens at all, really. He's just farming and like building up this farm, and more people come to live on the farm, and it's becoming more like a town than it is just like a farm. Which, well, it wasn't even just a farm, it was like he lived in a tree and he had some fields, but now there's like lots and lots of people and stuff, and so it's fine. It's definitely not an isekai I'd thoroughly recommend to people. There are definitely better ones. Whether or not there's better farming ones, I'm not sure, but there is actually quite a few farming isekais coming out within the next 6 to 7 months, like for cultivating a farm in another world with my elf wife, I can't remember. I have them all on pre-order, of course. Fire Force 26. I am missing a few Fire Force volumes. I haven't really dived into it too much. I think I've read the first 4 or 5, and then I didn't have any more volumes, and then I've like been buying them super randomly when they're discounted, and I still have gaps, but I'm kind of trying to stay up to date with it. Fire in His Fingertips, a flirty fireman ravishes me with his smouldering gaze. Volume 3. This is like the manga that showed me that smut can have a plot, as little as that plot is. I know a lot of people aren't keen on this one because consent is a bit iffy in it, and yeah, it is a bit. There's a lot of times where it's like, is she really happy to be going along with this? Or I think there's always a point of being able to differentiate what is right and wrong and what you're reading. Can we just appreciate the whole cover where he is doing the arm thing? Or as I discovered, it's called wall bang. Next we have 2 volumes of Fist of the North Star, volumes 3 and 4. So I actually got these off Blackwell's for a little bit cheaper than 3 for 2 price, which is really good actually. I think I got Alice in Borderland from there as well. I haven't started reading the series yet. It's taken me ages to pick volumes up, and I just kept getting distracted. I also keep getting put off reading hardback volumes because they're just a bit more unwieldy. I can't hold them in one hand, they don't fit in my basket as easily, and it's just annoying. But I do want to get into reading this because it just sounds stupid and silly from my understanding. I could be horrendously wrong. It'd be funny if I'm horrendously wrong, and it's the most serious series ever. Next we have Frieren Beyond Journey's End, volume 3, a very big fan favourite in the community. I have enjoyed it. I found volume 1 a lot more down than I expected it to be, which I think, like, because I heard it was fantasy, and there isn't like too much hardcore fantasy published by Viz, so I was quite excited. But I think I just ended up expecting like regular fantasy, but this is like a lot more emotional, and it's less about the fantasy and more about our main character's journey and coming to terms with her own morality, which is fine. I have enjoyed it. Probably not as I don't know. I think I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting like fantasy, which it kind of is, but it isn't the main plot point, which a lot of the fantasy I read is. I do enjoy it. I do recommend it. A lot of people enjoy it. I hope actually this is going to be like a great gateway fantasy manga for a lot of people. That would be lovely. Next we have A Galaxy Next Door Volume 1. You know what? I think I did enjoy it. I mean, I think the cover looks gorgeous. That's such a pretty cover. It was such a strange story. I can't remember who it's the same artist as, but this guy makes manga and he needs an assistant, and he ends up hiring this girl, and it turns out she's some sort of weird princess who has a stinger, and the guy accidentally stings himself on her stinger, which means they're betrothed and they can't stay very far apart because he'll get ill, and he can't be mean to her because he'll get ill. And it's so strange, but kind of sweet. It's kind of sweet. Oh, that's it. It's the same person as Sweetness and Lightning, which is another series I started recently. It's so neat, just accidentally being like, oh, this is a neat one. What? Oh, I have another manga by that same artist. Ooh. I can't remember for the life of me if it's complete or not, or ongoing. I want to say it's ongoing. It feels like a very new series, but it was quite nice. It felt a bit different. It felt like it was sort of a slice of life romance, but with some different kind of tropes, and they're all a bit older. They're not kids. Definitely going to try and keep up to date with this one. I mean, I really did like the art style. I mean, I just think that's really lovely, though nothing really beats the cover. Next we have Given Volume 1. I've been wanting to read this series for so long, but it's been so hard to find a Volume 1 cheaper than retail price, and finally Traveling Man got it back into stock again, so I picked it up. I haven't yet read it. It's another one where I've picked up Volume 1 and now I'm like, do I wait till I have more volumes? Because I don't think it releases that often, and I think there's 6 out at the moment, which isn't that many, and my Traveling Man does have more of the volumes, so I was like, maybe I'll just pick up more next time and then just binge a bunch. Next we have Golden Japanesque Volume 5. I did quite enjoy this. Well, I have mixed feelings. I read through it fairly quick, and then I got really annoyed. Favorite thing about the volume is the colour. This is like one of my new favourite colours. I think that's so lovely, like a minty, greeny, bluey colour. Oh, it's so good. I feel so bad for the main lady character. She's just been like thrown side to side by like everyone else. No one is like particularly nice to her, even the guy that's like in love with her. I hope she gets something good happens to her is all I want. But it's going to be a really long time till we find out, because I don't even think there's any more volumes published in Japanese yet. I don't know if it's on hiatus or just very slow chapters, but there are only 5 volumes in Japanese, so it'll be a while to find out. Last volumes on this stack are volumes 3, 5, and 7 of Grand Blue Fantasy. So this is a 7-volume series, so with these volumes I am now complete. Though I didn't buy these, my partner did, because he's been reading these and then got really annoyed when he couldn't go past volume 2. My understanding is it's based on a video game, and he does absolutely adore video games, especially JRPGs, which is what I think this one is. I don't know if it was a video game that came over to the West though, because I'd not really heard of it before, so I was surprised when I picked up some volumes and he was like, oh, that's a video game, and I was like, is it? I could be wrong though, I don't know too much. But he's been enjoying it. He's read up to volume 6 so far, so he only has volume 7 left to read. I'll probably pick it up in the next few months, because I do like video game manga. On to our second and final stack. So it's not going to be a horrendous haul, hopefully. Though I do think I've rambled a lot more than I usually do when I've got a bigger haul, so it might end up just being as long a video anyway. So the first volume on top is The Great Pretender. No, it's not got it's just Great Pretender Volume 1. I think I did this before as well. So this is another volume that I talked about in volume 1s that I read in the month of May. go check that out for more details about this. What I really want to point out about this one is a couple of things. Number one, probably one of the heaviest volumes I own, or densest. It feels so heavy and the pages feel so thick and crisp and like heavy. Everything's so heavy and I'm really surprised, and it's just all the corners and like so sharp. I'm just baffled by it. Also, it is on hiatus. There is only one volume out. I think I saw that actually it's an anime on Netflix, so there's probably more content there. I was really baffled by why did this get printed in English if it's only one volume, but if it's a popular anime I could potentially understand it at that point. But oh, it says on the back based on the hit Netflix series. I'm just an idiot. If reading a manga about con artists intrigue you, potentially go check out the anime then, because I feel like this volume was like barely an intro. I feel like I didn't get that much story. I barely was introduced to the characters, and I needed like 2 or 3 to like really sink in. So anime is probably the way to go if this is a series you want to read or enjoy. Next we have volumes 1 and 15 of Hinamatsuri. Very excited because I had a whole bunch of Hinamatsuri, but volume 1, and 15 was I think the latest release. However, I am now missing 14 because I just have to have gaps in my manga apparently. I'm quite excited because I can start reading this damn series now, because I had got a lot for Christmas and it's just been sat there and I've been really interested in trying to read it. I don't know if like I should wait for volume 14. Am I just continuously waiting? Hadoi Relationship Volume 3. Very excited to see this one because I've been looking out for Volume 3 for a long time now, months, because I saw it I think once in Travelling Man and then it disappeared. It was out of stock for ages and it was out of stock everywhere. It was really hard to find. I tried to stay up to date, so I still I picked up Volume 4 and I picked up Volume 5. But I was missing volume 3, so I couldn't keep reading. And then finally, I saw it restocked in Travel Man. I was like, yes. And I did. I got it. Very exciting. Now I can keep reading. I was a bottom tier bureaucrat for 1500 years, and the Demon King made me a minister, volume 3. It's definitely one of the longer titles in my series. This is the 3rd and I believe final volume in this series. So this is a spin-off for the isekai I've been killing slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level. This is a spin-off based on one of the characters, which is this character whose name I've forgotten, but she's the minister and she makes an appearance in the main series, and I'm fairly sure this runs up to where she makes an appearance in the main series, so that's where it ends, I guess. It's a very chill isekai. Well, this one I suppose isn't an isekai. It doesn't have an isekai in it. This is going back to my spin-offs of isekais count as isekais. Probably not. It's probably just fantasy. It's very chill. It's a pretty much entire female cast. I did start to find the main series a bit dull. Nothing was really happening and I fell off it, but my partner's read a volume more than me and he said it did pick up a bit more, so I need to just get back into it. I have read volume 1 of this, but not volume 2. No particular reason. Next we have In Another World with My Smartphone, volume 5. These volumes are coming out at such a speedy rate. Goodness me, I'm struggling to keep up. I think I've read the first 3 volumes. I've not read volume 4 and I've not read volume 5 yet. I found volume 1 a bit, it was fine. And then I read volume 2 and 3 and I actually quite enjoyed those. My partner has watched the anime and he told me how the anime ended, and that was a bit weird. I don't know what's going to happen in the manga because the light novel is still ongoing. The light novel's on 20 something volumes, which is wild considering the anime was I think 1 season, so they were just trying to wrap it up, I assume. I don't know if they're going to do in the manga what they do in the anime. I don't know if what happens in the anime happens in the light novel because I've not read it. I'll find out. They're bringing them out so quickly. I'll find out soon enough, I'm sure. Next we have Island in a Puddle, volume 1. I picked this up just sort of because I'd seen some people post pictures and I was like, I like picking up blind volume 1s, knowing nothing about it. It was a bit sad. Some weird things have happened. So pretty much it's just this kid and his little sister. They're on their own. The mother is kind of about but she's really not. She's like, she pops up like once every few weeks if they're lucky, and through some weird lightning strike, he ends up swapping bodies with a criminal, and the criminal is wanted, and the criminal's like, I don't know what's happened, but I can lay low like this. And that was pretty much where volume 1 kind of ended, I think. Things have all gone a bit weird, but that's about the premise so far. I'm interested to see how it progresses. I kind of just want to make sure the little boy's okay, who's now trapped in this criminal body, and he's like, I don't know what to do because the police wants me, everyone's hating me, attacking me, chasing me, I don't know. So I'm going to keep reading and hope it goes okay. JoJo Part 3 Volume 8. I was only missing 2 volumes of JoJo before I was up to date. I now have one of them and it is Volume 8. I am now just missing, I think, Volume 9 of Part 3, and then start reading JoJo. Isn't that exciting? I've been wanting to read JoJo for ages and I kept putting it off, and then just more volumes kept coming out. And I think I'm going to try and do a mega binge of JoJo at some point. But that's going to take me a long time because there's a lot of JoJo. Next we have Kaiju number 8 volume 2. I have really enjoyed this shonen series. It's fun, silly, fighty. I don't know how much of it sets it apart from other shonen. It makes me giggle. It is serious and silly, and I like the fights and I like the premise. Last Round Arthurs Volume 2. This is another volume I bought for $1.99. It has been on my wish list for quite a while now, so being able to pick it up for $1.99 was like great. My understanding is the manga is only 2 volumes, which feels very weird to me because it's an ongoing light novel. Is the light novel ongoing? The light novel is definitely a lot longer than 2 volumes. This one's really thick. I'm not sure how thick volume 1 is. I do need to track down volume 1 now that I have this one. Next we have Manga Dogs volume 2 and 3, also both bought for $1.99. This was another series I had on my want to try list, and I think it's only 3 volumes long, and it just sounded like my kind of romancy trash, so I was very excited by a short romancy trash. Hopefully I have got volume 1 in my unboxing stack, so I should have the complete series. Fingers crossed when I do that. Next we have Moriarty the Patriot volume 7. I do enjoy Moriarty, I enjoy Sherlock Holmes, so very excited to pick this one up. It was a new release when I grabbed it. It took me a while to read it for no particular reason. I just kept reading other new releases over this one. I did finally, when I finally got to it, I did enjoy it. I'm looking forward to picking up more of the volumes. They're quite far ahead in Japan. I think they're like on 18 or something. I feel like we're getting quite slow releases considering how far ahead they are. Oh well. Next we have Multi-Mind Mayhem Isekai Tensei Sudoku volume 3. This one's weird because it is an isekai, but also like in a really weird way, where like the consciousness of people have isekai'd into a newborn's head. So there's like 3 people living in this one body, and 2 of them have been isekai'd, and one of them's like a Japanese kid, the other's like an old war person, fighty, armor, warrior, samurai, something like that. And they all like, so that the like kid whose body actually is also is in the body, and he uses like, they all just talk to each other in their head, which makes him sound like a bit crazy. But it was quite an interesting, different kind of isekai fantasy that I've not seen before. So I have enjoyed it. I haven't read volume 2 yet, and have not read volume 3, but they were in my basket. I did move them out for some new releases recently, but I am going to read them really soon. My Love Mix-Up volume 3. So I read volume 1 and I wasn't that bothered by it. I was like, okay, it's quite nice, a bit awkward, lots of miscommunication, which is one of my pet peeves in manga, is a whole bunch of miscommunication. But volume 2 definitely picked it up for me. I enjoyed it a lot more. So I was actually quite excited to be able to pick up volume 3. And I saw somewhere that it's complete at like 9 volumes, which is actually not that surprising considering a lot of shoujo series tend to wrap up around late single digits, early double digits, so I don't know, I wasn't that surprised, but it was like, oh, it's finished, okay, cool. Next we have Newgate Volume 8. It rhymed. Now I've gotten so muddled up with when I've picked volumes up that I don't know when I picked up the next 2 volumes. I think my last unboxing I got volume 10, and I don't remember when I got volume 9. Volume 9 might have been a June pickup, but I am actually now up to date with the series. You can see them just behind me. This is very much Sword Art Online continued from the end of the Ironclad arc. If you're into Sword Art Online, you might enjoy this. I say that, I've only read volume 1 because I was like, I want to get up to date and then start binging this because isekai. And then I started reading a different kind of isekai, which is Strongest Sage, The Weakest Crest. And I was like, I don't want to read both of them at the same time because they're quite similar or back to back. So I ended up sort of holding this one back so I could read more of Strongest Sage because that one's a bit shorter. But once I finally caught up with Strongest Sage and I've read a few more different series, I'm gonna pick this one up for certain. Orient Volume 8. I've gotten really into Orient. I read I think 3 or 4 volumes back to back, and then only a couple of weeks after I did that I picked up Orient Volume 8. I have enjoyed it a lot more. I find with especially actiony, battle-y manga, if I don't binge, I completely forget what's happening. Especially you pick up a volume and then mid-fight and I'm like, okay, who's swinging at who? Where are we again? What are we fighting for? Which one's the baddie? So even though I am now like jumping in and out of the series because I've caught up, because I binged a bunch in the lead up to that fight, I've found it a lot easier to follow what's happening and I've enjoyed it a lot more. I think this volume I thought was a bit fine. I really enjoyed the lead up to this volume a lot more, and I'm looking forward to the next volume a lot because it looks like there's going to be some form of showdown, and they're always great. Penguin and House Volume 2. I really enjoy this series. It is great. It is silly and it makes me giggle a whole bunch. If you want a light-hearted, comedic, silly, episodic series, pick this one up. And I know the episodic bit's going to put off a lot of people, but I think it works with this one. I think it matters too much that they don't like flow too much together. Some of them flow a little bit. I still think it's great. Basically, this penguin looks after this guy and like does everything for him, and he's just amazing at what he does. It reminds me a little bit of Haven't You Heard of Sakamoto, but toned down a little bit. I don't know if I'm selling it, but it's I really enjoy it. And there's only 3 volumes out in Japan, which makes me a little sad because one more and then it's going to be a really long wait. Next we have Pumper the Cinephile Volume 2. So I read Volume 1. Was that one I included in my May reads? There are only 2 volumes out at the moment. When I last looked, Volume 3 doesn't come out until like January, February 2023. So it sounds like it's a very slow release series, and they're quite thin as well, though the big 7 Seas volumes always seem to be a lot thinner. If you're into your movies or you're a big movie buff, this might be a series for you. I enjoy movies. I haven't watched too many classics, though I do want to try and do like IMDb's top 100 at some point. But they talk a lot about movies, and at the end of Volume 1 they film a movie, and that was quite interesting to read. So I was like, okay, I'll grab Volume 2, especially since it turns out there is only 2 volumes out at the moment, so I'm already up to date. Okay, so next we have 3 volumes of Queen's Quality. We have volumes 2, 3, and 10. So with this, I think I'm up to date. Now, it might be a volume I picked up in June, again, getting horrendously muddled at what I've bought and when I've bought it, but I do have a clear run up to 13. 14 might be out recently, but I'm going to give myself that. I'm pretty much up to date now. I have a clear run, so I should start reading it, because I see so many people talk about how this is like one of the, like, such a good shoujo, and it's a shoujo that's like not just a high school romance, and like we need more of those. So I want to read it and see what all the fuss is about, especially since I can't read Yona yet because I'm waiting on reprints. Next we have Rent-a-Girlfriend Volume 12. I'm not too sure why I'm still doing this to myself. Rent-a-Girlfriend is like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, but it's just a slow burn. You have to enjoy the slow burn. This isn't a slow burn. This is just like a fizzle. Nothing happens at all. I'm not reading it for the main characters anymore. I don't like the main guy at all. I just like this character, her. I like her and Grandma. Grandma's absolute legend. And her. I really like her, so I'm really glad she's the one that's gotten the spin-off. And I love her spin-off because it reminds me so much of like Comey and trying to improve communication skills, and it's just so close to my heart being a terrible person with communication issues. And the art style is good. They're like, all the outfits they wear is so pretty. Nothing happens. Actually, no. Flipping through it did remind me there was some wonderful backstory for main lady. What's her name? Mizuhara? Mizuhara? I'm not sure if I pronounced it right, but Mizuhara, her backstory was actually super emotional, and I didn't cry, but I definitely got a bit... Next we have Sakamoto Days, which I think is the last volume in the stack where I'm going to be like, I talked about it in volume 1s that I read in May, go check out more information there. This was another fun, shonen, silly, action-y series I enjoyed reading and will keep picking up. A lot of people enjoy it, it's very humorous, and I really like manga that makes me go hee hee hee. It doesn't have to be a full-on laugh, but enough to like make me chuckle or smile. That's all I need. Next we have Sleeping Princess in the Demon Castle Volume 17. I really enjoy the series because I think it's silly and I love all the characters, especially the princess, because she's a right sort of terrible good character, but everyone loves her because she's just a little scamp. And also, who doesn't love the teddy demons? And oh my goodness, there's just so many good characters, and I love just how much all the demons love the princess so much. I am a few volumes behind. I think I've got like 5 or 6 of this I've not read now, but I do really enjoy it, and it's one of those series that I kind of put off reading volumes because I didn't want to be caught up, which is really dumb, I know, but I've done it quite a few times with different series like Witch Atelier, Summer Spider So What, and I have now done it with this one, so I need to just sit down and catch up on it because I really enjoy it. Next up we have Sneeze by Urasawa. I needed to make a 3 for 2, so I picked this one up because it's quite expensive for what it is. My understanding is it's just a one-shot. I don't know what it's about. I think it's just a collection of stories. I could be mistaken though. I found myself picking up a whole bunch more of his work. I used to not gravitate to any particular manga artist at all, and to be fair, I still don't. I find a lot of it's like accidental and more just I pick up a lot of manga, so the odds are I will pick up manga by someone else. The Sorcerer King of Destruction and the Golem of the Barbarian Queen Volume 2. I got super confused with this series because I thought it completed at 2 volumes, but I think just the website I had looked it on was wrong. Because I think I saw 7C's website had a volume 3 release date in the next month or 2, so obviously there's more than 2 volumes. I have no idea how long it is. It is an isekai, and I hadn't realised it was an isekai until I started reading it. I feel like I haven't read volume 2 yet. I feel like volume 1 was like entirely set up. I don't feel like too much really happened. It was still a lot of learning about the characters and what was happening in the world they were in, and I just didn't really get into it that much. I'm hoping volume 2 improves a whole bunch more. It is a series based on a light novel, and I did buy my partner, I think, volume 1 of the light novel, or he bought volume 1, I don't know anymore. So it'd be interesting for him to read that and then like tell me what that one's about and we can compare notes. Next we have Spy Family 7 with Damien on the cover. Ah, goodness. This was such a good volume, but I mean, I just like Spy Family, and I'll be honest, it seems like the entire world just likes Spy Family. Yay. I really like Damien. I think he's like really sweet and just sort of in a kind of bad situation, but seems to be a good person. And I absolutely adore the little crush he has on Anya, though he doesn't realise it and he gets really mad about it. And there was he was in this volume a lot. And there was a chapter with him and Anya when they were playing a card game, which, oh my gosh, I did cry at because I thought it was so sweet what happened, but I don't want to spoil it. I'm gonna leave it at that. Love the series. It's one of the series that I do think deserves the hype, and it's like one of the series I'd probably recommend to a lot of people, even ones that don't really read manga or anime, to like recommend it as a gateway. Next we have Star-Crossed Volume 4. This is the final volume in the series. I feel like I didn't really get that many answers, and I didn't really understand why it ended the way it did. I wonder if like it was cancelled. It felt like it needed like one more volume at least to wrap up. Just everything happened so suddenly and quickly, and it was like it felt like it was rushing dialogue to explain everything that had happened and was happening, and then it just kind of like, and it's ended, and I'm like, what? Wait, what about this? What about this? What about this? What happened with this? So I had been enjoying the series. I was a bit disappointed by the ending just because I found it a bit confusing. Art style was lovely as ever, and it's the same manga artist as Kiss Him Not Me, so there was a whole bunch of crossovers. So I think I'm not sure if every volume did, but a couple of volumes had like a bonus chapter at the end with like Kiss Him Not Me, like extra content, but it is rife with spoilers for Kiss Him Not Me, so if that's a series you want to read, either avoid this series or don't read the bonus chapters because they all just spoil everything for you. Toilet Bound Hanako-kun Volume 13. Another volume which I think is a lovely colour, but that isn't the only reason I buy manga, I swear. This was a good volume. I enjoyed all the stuff with this character. I can't do names. I enjoyed, I really like her as a character. She's quite like fun. And so she was in this volume a lot, which I really enjoyed. I liked how dark it got with her. It was, I don't know when volume 14 comes out. They seem to come out pretty quick, and then there was a lull, and it took ages for 13 to appear. Final volume in the stack is Witch and the Beast Volume 7. I'm super close to being up to date on this one. I think I need one more volume. I don't think 9 is out yet. And I'm gonna get on reading. Read Volume 1, enjoyed it, liked this style, liked how dark it was, like this like Parisian dark monstery vibes, really fun. Lovely art style, think the covers are super beautiful, and I like that it alternates black and white on the spines. I've managed to pick up a fair few second hand, which is quite nice. I've a good few I've paid for like £4-5, if not, yeah, about £4 or £5 for a few of them, which I'm really happy paying for these, because usually they'd be like an £11.99 volume. There we have it. That is the May manga haul. Don't forget to subscribe when I post all the other manga content I have ready to go. Well, not ready to go. I need to finish filming and start editing, but there's going to be so much manga content. We're going to be like overflowing with manga content. Shopping hauls and shopping trips and more hauls and unboxings and tours and stuff like that. I need to just decide how many videos I want to do before I start posting the London shopping videos, because like there's a June one, there's an unboxing one, there's reorganizing the shelves, and that's like quite a few videos to do. Oh, and this one and the May one, that's quite a few videos to do before I start posting the London shopping ones, so I might like alternate them. I haven't decided yet. I'll figure that out soon. So yes, don't forget to subscribe for all that. Don't forget to give this video a like, and also check out all my social media and affiliate links down below. Otherwise, have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye!